for another episode of the Journey Project. This is your host, Sir Chad, ever Broshears to some, Chad Broshears to others. No, I'm talking about today, just like what I typically do and how I come up with what exactly I want to make in content is just from what I observe from the people around me, what I see on social media, what it's just the overall, just like what seems to be the most important, what seems to be the pieces that everyone's asking for without actually using the language to ask for it, but speaking around it. It's like people keep saying they don't have enough money in the bank account. Well, it's really not they don't have enough money in the bank account as much as they don't have what they feel like they need to have in their account. So what is that? You talk about that part, and then you can come up with a better solution than the ambiguous I don't have enough money in my bank account. Or the I'm not happy in my relationship. Well, specifically, what is it that you expect to have in the relationship? Then we can talk about what makes you happy versus I'm not happy. That's just an indicator. It's a map, but it has no destination on it. It's just something. At least you know where to look, but you don't know what to look for. So this is like sifting through to create the reality that you want. I have enjoyed talking to people about reality in my life because of the fact of how many realities that we have in this world. We have an absolute reality that we all exist in, and then we have these fragmented but feels to be a whole reality that we ourselves individually live with. So with that, that's to give you something that does create a lot of conversation. It's fun because you get to learn from another perspective when you can join into those conversations. It's something that I've greatly enjoyed. It's part of the return on my investment for those conversations, although I don't really look at it that way as much, but if you want to look at it that way, it's perfectly fine because it resonates as a lot of truth. So the realities that we all exist in. So it's interesting because if you want to observe what a reality is to an individual, you look at where they get the awareness to what they have led up to that moment with, and how they felt about themselves, and who they believe they are, now becomes who they believe they were, and a flick of a moment, a snap of a finger. What I like about this is that it's what you were before was not prepared for what the current moment has provided you, and it's time to adapt and evolve. It does not mean that you cannot join this new awareness into the old reality of who you thought you were. You don't want to create a fixed reality that doesn't grow and adapt to things around us. So this is what a lot of people do, and again, it's what I refer to as the feral environment. It's the feral reality. And feral being non-civilized, or just not like a feral cat or something like that, or a feral animal. They're not household. They're not, they're not domesticated. They're not, if you try to make them that, they become incredibly disruptive. Perfect way of illustrating this, because when you try to domesticate somebody who has a feral upbringing in a specific area, 8 of the 8 areas, any one of them or the majority or all of them, you have challenges in what your desired outcome is, even if that person has agreed with you that they want a specific outcome the same as you do. Well, that doesn't mean that your realities perfectly lay over one another. It just means that your reality has variables that the two of you can understand, or however many people are involved in that reality, and the intended destination of that. They don't know, it just seems to be identical. It seems to be, and it's often a default, is that because we don't take the time to go through the details to understand the differences between us, we have a perspective that they're on the same page, on the identical concept of what we want. You individually, or whomever the individual or collective we is. That's not the way things work. That's why we have so much hardship. That's why we have so many problems and challenges that we get out of it. Is because we don't have that So you have to go through those things if you want to reduce your discomfort. Now you have a lot of other variables that come into play. Some of those are they're so attached to something about you that the other person is willing to forego how they feel at the moment. But what I've learned in life is that rarely is the case that it maintains. Okay, I like to go out and party. Not me individually, just an example, but the same person likes to go out and party. And then there's a partner that wants to get into a relationship with them. They want to get in a relationship with that partner. And then, so they're like, okay, well, great, let's do this thing. I really do. You're the right kind of attractiveness for me. You've got the right kind of developmental values or something that is made that person decide that going out at that moment of decision in the conversation or the timeline of the conversation could be weeks, months, whatever, but the romance phase, if you will. Like, you know what, this person meets these other needs that I have, so therefore I'm going to forego going out. Now, you understand that going out is a category. It's not a one-thing behavior. There's reasons to want to go out. There's reasons that people have that they want to be able to do certain things. It's like, maybe they want to meet more people. Perhaps that going out is their way of just decompressing from the day. Most of this is going to be multifaceted. It's going to be several different variables that they don't want. They're willing to forego in the conversation, but over time, that becomes a priority again, because it is something that helps them through whatever it was helping them through before. That could be the nostalgic effect or whatever. So, but the point of this is that how do you sift through realities? First off, you have to be aware that everybody has their own unique reality. It's like it's popularized right now with your truth. Well, I'm not a big fan of that, because that's more of a weaponized thing in conversation. People say, it's my truth. Well, it immediately makes me think that the person is not thinking for themselves when they say that, even though that's coming from the concept that they are thinking for themselves. It's weaponizing the conversation, and that's something I don't agree with, and I do shun that in others. So as far as moving forward and to continue this going on, is that the realities that we have, first you understand that everyone has their own. There is an absolute reality. There are closer to absolute realities. There's like the economy and the systems that we live in have a higher reality value than an individual's preference about the way things happen, because it supersedes, because it's the environment we live in, the fishbowl that we're inside of. Then you have the others, which is going to be individuals like, oh, this is the way I feel, this is the way that I think, this is the way that I experience life. All it is, you just make meaning to events that you've experienced in life. So sifting through those things will give you the power and ability to start realigning to the things that actually bring you far closer to the outcomes you're wanting. And then you can start enrolling people in those outcomes by simply communicating with them in a way that gets them to understand that that is what you want. Communication is one of the strongest factors in creating a reality that you want. So, all right, I gotta go. Till next time. This is Chad Everett Broshears, or Sir Chad Everett Broshears to some. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do share and like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. You can use this video and the series of videos or anything that I put out as a conversation starter for other people in your life if you want to make some changes and get things going in a specific direction. Or just open up opportunities. Use the videos to start a conversation. You can watch it together, communicate about what your experience is. You can make me the point of it all and the brunt of it. The person that you pick on or make fun of or whatever. But take the message that I'm trying to deliver and use that as a conversation piece that you two can, or you and whomever else, can really kind of grow. I come from a place of heart. I want to contribute to make things more desirable, more orderly, more functional in this world. So, the concepts of better in my reality. So, all right, until next time, I'll talk to you then. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so that you can get this stuff going live and stay up to date. Until next time, this is the Maturity Project. We got a lot to accomplish, but we got to start with ourselves, not the world. We'll get to the world, I promise.